welcome to the Cyber Chronicles, our weekly show where we discuss the 5 most popular articles that are spread across the interweb. We scrub the internet so you don't have to. We have 5 articles that we're going to discuss. German police raid a Tor group. Facebook's in the news again. That's a big surprise, huh? We have a big sale of $2.5 billion you're going to want to know about. LTE network protocol, very interesting article. A lot of you use it. You're going to want to know about this one. The number one article, DOG, is a shocking article deciding not to prosecute. We're going to cover that one in depth. So let's get started at our top 5 stories of the week on the Cyber Chronicle. So coming in at number 5, German police raid homes of Tor-linked group board members. Board members describe the police justification for raids as tenuous at best, a privacy group, a blog, and looking for email addresses. Apparently, law enforcement officials believe that there was a risk of a right-wing group, Alternative for Germany Party, to become a protest to be violent. And because of that, they raided these groups. The series of latest in series of intrusions by law enforcement in the community built around privacy. The group's affiliation, let me see if I can pronounce this, Zibaba Fredondon. I'm sure that's pronounced right. If it's not, well, I'm not fucking German, okay? Anyway, they have an organization that runs high bandwidth services that helps the Tor and anonymity network. Say anonymity 5 times quick. Police raid, just a tenuous saying, hey, this group had some affiliation with the group that may be violent and protest. So they went in, they broke in, they got the materials for this Tor group, electronic documentation. The group itself said, though, however, Tor infrastructure was compromised because all of electronic storage equipment is encrypted, and it's highly unlikely that the police are able to crack these smart cards. And just as a precaution, they revoked all their PGB keys. So good luck trying to find out the information on that. So interesting privacy attack in Germany, trying to get at the Tor network. We continue to see these types of things as the balance between security and privacy continues to be something that most countries struggle with. Well, we knew Facebook couldn't make it a week without being in the top 5 security news things a week. I mean, they are one of the most popular sites out there, but good God, when are they going to get their shit together? They admit they're sharing data with 61 tech companies. This is based on the testimony that they gave during the Cambridge Analytical scandal in March. There is, if you're interested, you can actually go to a docs link here. I'll see if I can figure out how to put these things on our bottom of our description. I still haven't figured that shit out. 747 pages long. That discloses all of the hundreds of questions that Mark Zuckerberg gave, but it revealed 6-month extensions to 61 companies that had information on theoretically access to friends, APIs. Just 52 companies were international. Just an incredible amount of information here. It's interesting, just 3 days after we covered a separate incidents where the third-party quiz that runs the app on the Apple application exposed 120 million users to hackers. Facebook, get your shit together. People are leaving you in droves. Privacy is something that people... we understood that you're going to collect some of our data, but good God, every week we have something that comes out on Facebook. So let's move on to... I can't even keep track here. Our 3rd most popular article spread. So sucks. Sus. Sorry, that's a Freudian slip. Linux sold for $2.5 billion. Somebody made some coin along the way here, huh? So current owners, Micro Focus, in a deal worth $2.5 billion is going to be acquired or selling their Linux to EQT Partners. It's a development-focused investors with extensive experience in the software industry. So one of the oldest Linux businesses, they have about 1,400 employees worldwide, relatively healthy profit margins. The deal is good news for SUS, also good news for EQ2 because it has an intrinsic role in the open software in the cloud. This is interesting. I don't know how it's going to play out, but it looks like there's going to be a nice infusion in capital into this organization. More engineers leads to more innovation, which leads to better operating systems and better technology. So this appears to be a pretty healthy deal, and should be good for the industry. So if your mobile carrier carries LTE, also known as the 4G network, you need to be aware that your network communication could be hijacked remotely. Team of researchers discovered some critical weaknesses in the ubiquitous LTE mobile device standards that allow sophisticated spies to spy on their users' cellular networks, modify the contents of their communications, and even reroute them to malicious and phishing sites. LTE, anybody know what that means? Anybody? Anyone? Bueller. Long-term evolution. That is what it stands for. So there's some multiple security flaws in LTE 4. So although this is a very interesting article, it's very difficult to perform in a real-life scenario. I mean, even this article that they wrote about, it takes about $4,000 worth of equipment to operate. You have to be within a mile radius, and a very skilled attacker to abuse this attack vector. LTE 5 is coming out, G5 is coming out. They'd also be vulnerable to these attacks. However, LG5 is going to have authenticated encryption. It's not going to be mandatory, but most carriers are probably going to implement it. So, interesting article, not a really something to be concerned about. Just if you have an LTE 4 mobile device, there is a potential, if somebody's within a mile of your phone, for it to get hacked.
This episode of the Cyber Chronicle is brought to you by Focus Point Technologies, a Minnesota-based woman-owned cybersecurity solutions provider. Founded on the belief that the market is vastly underserved, we are putting the value back in VAR. Please call us at 651-330-5521 or find us on the World Wide Web at www.focuspointtechnologies.com.
Okay, so our number one article of the week is something that's been shared the most. Hopefully you don't have a heart condition or faint easily, because this could cause you some distress. So that's our disclaimer. The DOJ Daily Caller comes from the Daily Caller. The DOJ agrees not to prosecute a man for the House cybersecurity and theft in question. And it's just a bizarre article that talks about the fact that this gentleman, who was a former system admin for Debbie Wasserman Schultz and other Democrats, has a plea that not guilty to any bank fraud. The presentation especially found the problems on one server. Paul Irving, the House's top law enforcement officer, wrote a letter to the committee in the House, saying the evidence that a server was missing. Based on the evidence that we've concluded, employees are having ongoing risk, the House representatives, and possibly the integrity of the systems. Iran, Ahmed, Jamal, Avi, and a friend were all banned by the House network the same day he sent out the alleged letter. And again, alleged wrongdoing, alleged. We're a small company, don't sue us. Two separate issues. The first was cyber security issues and the fact that the insider threat in looking at information within the House. The second was suspected theft. They said that on Saturday in the House office, It was like pieces of equipment, including iPads and Apple TVs. It looked like Christmas every Saturday, according to this one person who commented on it. He avoided the structure of less than $500 to get through the house. Yep, the government agrees with the allegations. Agrees that the client stole equipment, engaged in unauthorized, but did not form the basis to conduct relevant determination of the sentence of this case. So they're really saying, it sounds like you did it, but you didn't violate any federal law in this circumstance. So there's nothing that this federal court can do, even though they have up to $120,000 in equipment missing, and they don't know where and what access they had in the House of Representatives during this time. So it goes to show you, in my opinion, a good attorney can do a lot for you. So I'd also like to thank all of our subscribers. We reached a milestone this last week with over 1,000 subscribers now to the Cyber Chronicles. Thank you so much. If you don't know how to subscribe, click that little button, I believe, on the left-hand side. It'll show you can subscribe to us every week. Hopefully we'll have good content for you. As we grow, we're going to get sponsors. Hopefully, it's true. People in the hacking industry drink a lot of Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew, love to have you give us some free Mountain Dew. Probably paid, I don't know, my kid's college education on a Mountain Dew. But that's it for this week. And have a great week, and we will talk to you next Sunday.